Go ahead.
Welcome everyone to Punjabi Chamber of Commerce's another webinar. This is very important for Californians and Californian businessmen who have 5+ employees. And I just a minute. So let me introduce myself first. I'm Sandeep Dhall. I live in California, and I have a couple of companies where I work. I've founded and I'm a partner with. Now one of them is SMB Capital Partner. We invest more than just equity, and we help with and we acquire or invest in companies, seasoned companies, up to around $5 million of a revenue they have. Then I'm also a partner with CalSavers and Partners, where we are helping a lot of organizations. We have done more than 700 projects already on pricing and customer segmentations that increase the revenue and margins and profits and sales volume substantially, and even in some cases exponentially. So pricing is a big lever, everybody knows, but most companies just guess. They do not go for a data-driven approach. Now, I also have a marketing company, and I am a co-chair with Kulwant Sandhu. She is also a co-chair, and for Punjabi Chamber of Commerce, California, San Francisco Bay Area chapter. I wanted to give you a little bit background about Punjabi Chamber of Commerce, but before I can start, I want to play this video for everyone. It's only a couple of minutes.
Punjabi Chamber was formed to unite the global Indian Punjabi community.
Access to professionals across the world on a more professional as well as a personal level is the biggest value that I have seen in pieces.
It brings all Punjabi brothers together and gives all the business people a bigger and a better platform.
Privileged to have this opportunity mentor the younger generation coming into the business world.
I'm really excited to use the Mentor Connect program offered by the Punjabi Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. So Pankaj right now, a minute, Pankaj, and I will. Sorry for the mistake. So we have Pankaj, who owns and who runs PNR Financial Services LLC, and he works with clients on pension plans, related matters on a fee-only basis. That means I think there is no commission or back-end commissions involved, and that's good to know. And he specializes in working with other professionals in plan design, because in this case I think there are many professionals who have their, so he understands and weaves a picture or weaves a story, weaves a solution based on the critical needs of the customers, and in plan design, implementation and monitoring, and customized pension plans solutions for businesses, providing customized solutions, like I said, meeting the needs of those businesses across California. And I have right now my sorry for the okay. So Pankaj.
Good morning, Sandeep. I'm not sure if my video is frozen, but you are.
Yeah, I guess there's some issues with Sandeep's network.
I'm so sorry, Pankaj. Do you hear me now?
Yes, I do.
My computer just collapsed, and I'm sorry for that, everyone.
Welcome to modern world.
It just went off, and it restarted luckily faster. So I have a question. Let's start going direct. What is CalSavers?
So the very short answer is CalSavers is a retirement plan mandated by the state of California for businesses that have at least 5 or more employees. It started out with 100 or more, it went down to 50 or more. And the third phase is going to be down to 5 or more effective June 30th of 2022. So if you as a business in the state of California, you have a choice. You can either set up your own plan, and if you're not inclined to do so, then you're required to enroll your employees in CalSavers.
CalSavers, and you said it is mandatory.
It is a requirement on the employer.
On the employer to have that, and
to enroll the employees.
So yes. So do employers also contribute in that, or only employees contribute in it?
In CalSavers, it is employee contributions only. It is an IRA, so it is subject to the IRS IRA limits. And no, the employer has, the only obligation they have is to enroll their employees, but there's no other cost involved or no other maintenance involved on their end.
It is only the management and headache and all that thing. And I think as to meet these mandatory requirements and to motivate employees, I think they need to offer this to every employee, right?
Yeah, well, they can either offer their own plan, have it their own plan. If not, then they do CalSavers. So CalSavers is more of an automated system where you as the employer would just go onto their website and enroll your employees in the program, and you're done. You do have to make payroll deductions, so that is another requirement that you do have to be aware of.
Okay, you have to make payment and you have to keep accounts. And so what do you mean by having your own plan or called CalSaver? How is it different?
So what is different? The best way I can explain is if you are a small business and you have, say, up to 50 employees, you can, it doesn't matter on the size, but you can set up a retirement plan. The most common type of retirement plan is the 401k. So If you have 50 or less employees, you can add a little bit more than just a regular standard 401k. And that could be beneficial to you as the owner. But when it comes to a 401k, there are higher limits that an employee can contribute. So in a Roth IRA or an IRA, they have a limit of, I believe it's $6,000. Whereas in a 401k, an employee can defer up to $20,500. Now, there is also something called a catch-up contribution. So if an employee is over the age of 50, in an IRA, the catch-up contribution is only $1,000, whereas in a 401k, it is $6,500. So
Yeah,
by designing your own plan, you can do a lot more for the employees. And if you're a small business, there are things that you can do for yourself as the owner of the business also.
so
The
you're
other
saying,
advantage is there is also a tax credit available for an employer to set up a retirement plan for the business.
okay, and so you have retirement benefits. The tax benefits also to the employer if they set this up. So it's a good deal for the employer. So why do you think people have not gone in for them yet, and there are still last minute scrambling going on? What are the challenges people
I
have?
believe there are a couple of different reasons. One is the employee, the business owner is generally focused on running the business. There are a lot of complications involved, so they tend to shy away from investing a little bit of time and effort into it. And right now, I am speaking to quite a few businesses that are in that situation.
And who are
They are,
panicking right now because of the date coming, the last date coming in fast, right? Deadline is coming.
yes, now they are all scrambling to get a solution in place, or obviously, if they don't do anything, then they would have to enroll the employees.
Okay. Oh, enroll the employees means what? Enroll the employees to CalSavers.
In CalSavers, yes. Mhm.
And by doing that, they do not save anything.
The employer really does not get a benefit because in an IRA, there are income limits also. So if a business is earning, whatever the IRS limits are, if they exceed those limits, they would not qualify to put money into any kind of IRA or anyway, where
Mhm.
they can get a tax deduction.
Yeah, so it seems very important for Californians because I was reading this morning that we have a impending retirement crisis, and it's a national issue. And California, I was reading that it is especially vulnerable because California has around 40 million residents, and which means 12% of the population of US population lives in California, and it has 15% of the US GDP. But 61% of the private sector employees, even after we have so much of private sector here, 61% don't have access to any employer sponsored retirement plan. And this is the survey done, this is the report by UC Berkeley Labor Center. And it seems like that this is a very important step by the government. Without getting into the politics of it, do you think why some people are against it, or they are not accepting this thing and they are resisting the change?
Well, yes, there is always, when it seems like it is a government mandate, but it really is not. So when there is any kind of, government requirement, people do tend to be averse to that kind of situation.
Okay.
But, this is a nationwide issue. It's not just in California.
Yeah.
So, Oregon is the first state that has started what we call a state required or a state mandated plan. And California is amongst one of, I believe there's about 12 states that have done this. and other states are also following suit. So it is not only unique to California. Now, if I may take a little, if you look at the New Jersey plan, New Jersey has also started to implement a similar program. The name is a little bit different, but in New Jersey, it is only going to be at one level, and I believe it is about 30 employees.
Okay.
So if you are a business that does not offer and you have at least 30 or more employees, then you will be required to enroll them in whatever the New Jersey plan is. So
Yes.
California is not unique to that. And yes, it is, unfortunately, some employers do see it as, the government trying to make them do something, but it's really in their benefit and in the employees' benefit to have some sort of plan in place.
And I think a time will come when employees will start, if they have, I hope so, employees will start even asking, what are you doing above and beyond the CalSavers? That should be the target. I think that should happen in everywhere, where employees actually before joining the company may start asking how much are you doing more than CalSavers. That's the basic requirement. And with the great resignation and the current problems in recruiting people in across America, I think, or in California at least, this may start happening very soon.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not just employees, even self-employed people. You do not have to have employees to set up your own retirement plan. So
Yes.
if you are self-employed, and I'll give you an example, I have a client in New Jersey that is husband and wife. They earn a lot of money. They're older and they do not have any employees. We have a retirement plan set up for them
Mhm.
where just between the husband and wife, they're putting almost $300,000 into the retirement plan.
Wow.
Now, a state mandate plan is never going to be able to give that kind of flexibility.
Yeah, I agree. So what is another question I have is, who can contribute? I know employees, it's an employee contribution, but is there a restriction on the employees? Is there a like a visa requirement from the employees, right? Or is there any limit on the visa, any limit on the age, any limitations on the type of employee, or any limitations on the uh, salary requirement, or say up to this salary and beyond you don't require something? Maybe somebody earns 300,000 and above a year, you don't require that. So is there any limitation in that?
Yes, there are limitations. So let's take, IRAs in general. IRAs have limitations on income, and so does a standard IRA, a Roth IRA. They all have limitations on income. However, in a retirement plan, and let's just focus on a 401k, 401k has earned income is what they go by, but the limits are a little bit higher. And it is not in an IRA, it is what we call AGI, whereas in a 401k, it is earned income. So whatever that income is, yes, there are limits, but the limits of contributions are much, much higher.
Mhm.
As far as visa is concerned, anybody that is working legally in the United States is allowed to participate in a retirement plan, whether it is employer sponsored or their own. So you do not have to be employed somewhere. If you have earned income, you may be able to set up your own IRA. It is obviously subject to the other limitations. So again, going back to the IRA, there are limitations on income. So
Mhm.
yes, there are limitations, but they are pretty diverse.
And what action do you think, we have only a month and a half left? What action should I take now if I'm listening right now?
So my best recommendation is you as an employer need to contact a financial professional and get a proposal on what is the best solution for your particular situation. So, if you have 5 or more, obviously it is imperative that you do this, but it doesn't matter the number of employees even if you have a plan in place now, you should always be doing an evaluation at a minimum of somewhere between 3 and 5 years to make sure your plan is still competitive as to what the market has to offer today. I work with a lot of employers that have older plans that are over 10, 15, 20 years old, and they have never evaluated their plans. And that's not a good idea. So you as an employer should constantly be monitoring it. But for you as an employer that does not have a plan, the first step is contact a financial professional that you trust, you're comfortable with, get a proposal. It's going to give you an idea what is a good type of plan for you, what the expenses are, what the administrative issues are going to be, and how you're going to find that solution.
So when you said, okay, so I understand. So let's talk about, you have talked about 401k and CalSavers a few times. What if I just let it go over to CalSavers? Do I lose some money as an employer or not?
You as an employer not lose any money by enrolling your employees in CalSavers, but you as an employer also do not get any benefit. Now, I'll use an example of a company that I'm working with right now here in California. There are 2 owners, and they have 2 highly compensated employees. Now, we are in the process of setting up a retirement plan for them, and they are going to be able to at least make more contributions in that plan for themselves. They will have to do some employer match for the employees that do participate, but they're going to get a greater benefit by having their own plan. Now, if the same organization decided not to set their own plan up, then they would not be able to, because they do exceed the income limits as for the IRAs. So they would not really qualify for an IRA, whether it's a standard IRA or a Roth IRA, they would not qualify. So here it is a clear situation where the employer can benefit a lot more by offering an employer-sponsored plan.
Okay, and what else? What are the main challenges will people ask for when they meet you? Like maybe I since I do not have this situation in me, I may not have the right question. But do you think something which is being asked usually, and I have not asked yet?
So the main challenges that I see is brand recognition. So I will not name any names, obviously, but there are companies that everybody has, oh, we would like to have a plan through X, Y, and Z, but that's not always the case. There may be some companies are open to different kinds of plans, but not all companies will take any kind of plan. So you have investment companies, then you have payroll providers. You may have a payroll company that offers a 401k, that has what we call a turnkey solution or a bundled solution where it may be the right fit for you.
Yes.
So but these are the challenges that people are not familiar with, and they need to be, at least I feel that they need to take the time and invest that time in educating themselves. I do not expect them to get a PhD in it, but at the same time, at least have a good basic understanding of what their options are.
Yeah, and so rather than procrastinating at this point of time when it's only a month and a half, it's better to investigate themselves on CalSavers, or ask, if they're busy, ask a professional like yourself or someone else, a financial professional, to come and give some presentations and some options, correct?
Absolutely. They can reach out to their payroll company if they have a payroll company that they deal with. A lot of payroll companies offer, as I mentioned, turnkey solutions. So that's another way they can do it. There are different service providers, but these are the two main investment companies. They may have a financial advisor. I have a situation where the owner has a long-standing relationship with their financial advisor and they're comfortable with it. So they're getting a proposal through them. And I believe the correct way is at least get two proposals from different vendors. So you have a comparison on the different aspects of it. The things that you need to look at are, they call them the 3Fs. The funds obviously is one of the most important part of it. What are the investments available within the plan? The fees. So you as the owner of the business need to have a good understanding what the fees are. They do not have to be the cheapest, but they have to be reasonable. And you as the business owner have the third F, which is the fiduciary. So you as the owner of the business have the fiduciary liability of understanding everything. Again, as I said, it does not have to be the cheapest. It has to be reasonable. But you need to have an idea, so this way you know what your plan has.
Okay, and is there any difference between say you said 5+ employees? What about I have 50+ employees? So you're saying if I'm 50+, I'm already covered under the I'm mandated to have a plan. This thing has come up recently only for 5+. Is that what I'm saying, or is there a difference between the level of responsibility between a 5+ or a 10+ or a 20+ or a 50+?
So CalSavers was implemented effective June 3rd.
Yeah, I think I lost you, Pankaj. There are some difficulties right now. I think I got a lot of very valuable input from Pankaj, and if he's not able to join, we will wait for another couple of minutes and then ask him some questions. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat box. We will ask them, and then we'll talk. And we can ask them more questions. I think Pankaj is back. Hey, Pankaj, so it's your
Sorry
turn
about
now.
that. Okay, so to answer your question about the 100, so it started out, CalSavers started out effective June 30th of 2020. It started out if you had 100 or more employees, you had to follow the mandates. Then June 30th of 2021, it came down to 50. And June 30th of 2022, it will be down to 5.
Okay, now I understand. And the other requirements remain the same.
Yes.
The paperwork, the requirements, it's all similar. Okay, so I think I don't have any question, but if I don't see any question from, is there any question from the audience, Vrinda?
Not really.
Okay. So I think what we can do is we have recorded this session. We will share the recording on our YouTube channel so that people can watch it. And we will also share this live feed on our LinkedIn right now in a few minutes so that people who couldn't join this can benefit. And it's always a pleasure to have you, Pankaj. I look forward to have many more conversations with you on this platform.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me. And always, as always, great to be part of the PCC.
Thank you. And you are a member. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Okay.
Great. Thanks.